brilliant Qatar is the passport to your success.
Students, today we're going to discuss on the JEE Mains 2020 Mathematics paper, and it was for the month of September, conducted on the date 2 afternoon shift. Okay, so this paper, students were saying it was very lengthy. We couldn't complete the paper. Yes, it was lengthy, but the questions were far more easier and doable. Though it is lengthier, but it's far more easier and doable. It was some certain questions were difficult, I agree on that, but let's see the questions one by one. The first question we're going to start with is related to the complex number. Now, look at this. In this, they're asking you to find the imaginary part of a complex number. You can clearly see that the complex number given over here is 3 plus 2 root 54i. There is a negative number inside the root, that's why it becomes a complex number, and there is a power of 1 by 2 coming on it. Can you see that? There is a power of 1 by 2. It specifies that it is the square root of a complex number. Now, how to find the square root of a complex number? It's a very lengthy process. But whenever you're trying to find the square root of a complex number, the first thing that you have to do is you find the modulus of that complex number. So here my complex number z is equal to 3 plus 2 root of negative 54, the whole power 1 by 2. So I am trying to find the square root of this complex number. Okay, so which is what? What is this complex number? 3 plus 2 root 54i. Now let's find the modulus of this complex number. So what is the modulus of this complex number? 3 plus 2 root 54. Modulus of 3 plus 2 root 54i, that is square root of 3 squared plus 2 root 54 squared. Yes. Okay, and that is equal to square root of 9 plus 216, which is square root of 225, which is equal to 15. So the modulus of this complex number is 15. Now, how do I find the square root of this complex number? There's a shortcut to do this. In normal CBSE textbook, NCERT textbook, if you follow that method, it's like around 1.5 pages or 2 pages to do the solution. But here we have a shortcut, a very quick method. That is why I'm asking you to find the modulus of C here. So if I know the modulus of C here, the real part of this complex number is given by, all of you listen, the real part of this complex number is given by mod Z plus the number 3, which is my x, divided by 2. Yes, mod z plus x divided by 2 is my real part. Because it is a square root, I am keeping it under the square root. Now, what is the imaginary part over here? The imaginary part of z is going to be mod z minus x divided by 2. Real part is mod z plus x and the imaginary part is mod z minus x divided by 2. Okay, now what is mod z for us? 15. And 15, and what is my x over here? My x is 3. So 15 plus 3 is 18 divided by 2, which is 9. 18 divided by 2, which is 9. So square root of 9 is equal to 3. Okay, the imaginary part is 15 minus 3, which is 12. 12 divided by 2, which is root 6. So the imaginary part is root 6. Now, can you look at the question once again? You can clearly see that the first square root of the complex number has a positive sign in between, and the next one has a negative sign in between. Perfectly the conjugate of the first complex number, right? So there's nothing difficult to do the second one. Second one also is going to have the same real part and the same imaginary part. Since both these complex numbers only differ by the sign in between, makes them the conjugate of each other, right? So the real part and imaginary part of both these complex numbers are exactly the same. So what is the only difference that is going to come? The subtraction. Yes. So how do you write it? The first complex number. So all of you please note this. The first complex number 3 plus 2 root 54i power 1 by 2 can be written as plus or minus, you know that, square root. So when you're finding the square root, you have a plus or minus always. Plus or minus 3 plus root 6i. This is the first case. The second one, 3 minus 2 root 54i, the whole power 1 by 2 can be written as plus or minus 3 minus root 6i. Now they're asking you to subtract it. They're asking you to subtract the two complex numbers. So when you're subtracting the two complex numbers, what happens? 3 and 3 will go, and you will have the imaginary part going to be what? When I subtract these two complex numbers, what will I get? I can cancel off 3 and 3. I can easily cancel off 3 and 3. And what is left for me in the final answer? I can easily write it as root 6i plus, because minus and minus will make it plus, root 6i plus root 6i, 2 root 6i. Okay, and I'm going to have a plus or minus. So this is purely imaginary complex number. So what is the complex number's imaginary part? That's a question. The complex number's imaginary part is 2 root 6. Yes, plus or minus 2 root 6. And in the options, you can see option 2 is minus 2 root 6. That's the first answer. It's clear, everybody? Yes. So now let's go to the second question. Now in the second question, it's a very interesting question, a very beautiful question where every student can easily score marks. I want you to look at the determinant that is given over here for me. So what is the determinant that is given over here for me? That is determinant of A, B, C, B, C, A, C, A, B. It's a very common determinant that you have in your textbook. Okay, so now this determinant part is always done using properties of determinant. Now in this curriculum, you have been asked not to study it. It has been deleted from your NCERT textbook just for your CBSE board exam, but you're supposed to be studying it for your JEE mains or advanced. Okay, so you have to learn these questions. This is a very basic determinant question which is being asked to evaluate using properties of determinants. So I would ask you to learn the answer for this. The answer for this is 3abc minus a cube minus b cube minus c cube is equal to 0. It's a very common determinant. Okay, now I don't have to show the solution for this because it's a very common question in determinants. So 3abc minus, if you can open it up, you will get the same answer. 3abc minus a cube minus b cube minus c cube is equal to 0. So can I say now 3abc is equal to a cube plus b cube plus c cube? Yes. Now look at the question. What is a cube plus b cube plus c cube? A cube plus b cube plus c cube is equal to 2. Just substitute it. So I'll have 3abc is equal to 2. That implies I can get abc is equal to 2 by 3. A very easy question. Now, for those students who don't know how to do this evaluation to get this, I will be providing a solution over here. You can see the solution now. Okay, you can just go through the solution now and you can understand how I got determinant of ABC, BCA, CAB is equal to 3ABC minus a cube minus b cube minus c cube. It's over here. You can see it. Okay. If you want, you can pause the video and then watch it. Okay, observe it. I am moving to the third question. Okay. Now in this question, the ratio of 3 consecutive binomial coefficients, okay, of the expansion of 1 plus x power n. 1 plus x power n. It's a very common binomial expansion they always ask. You're supposed to be telling me what are the coefficients of the terms of the expansion 1 plus x the whole power n. You know, how does it look like? You know that usually for binomial expansion, we use the NCR combinations as the coefficients of each term. Especially for 1 plus x power n, the coefficients are always nc0, nc1, nc2, etc. ncn. Okay, the coefficients of x are always nc0, nc1, nc2, etc. ncn. Always. Okay, now they're saying that 3 consecutive coefficients. What do you mean by 3 consecutive coefficients? The coefficients of adjacent terms or consecutive terms are in the ratio. So let's say let the consecutive terms be, let the consecutive terms be NCR minus 1, NCR and NCR plus 1. So I'm saying these are the coefficients of my 3 consecutive terms. Now let's say what is the ratio now? Let's say what is the ratio? The ratio is 2:5:12. Okay. Now with this I'm supposed to find the value of n. With this, I'm supposed to find the value of n. Now let's see, there's going to be a very important relationship that goes over here. Let's consider the ratio between these 2 coefficients. So I can say then NCR divided by NCR minus 1 is equal to 5/2. Now I'm going to teach you a shortcut. You might be expanding this using the NCR combination formula. It's going to be again making it lengthy. I'll teach you a shortcut. Now, the shortcut goes like this. I want you to be looking at both the R terms over here. R and R minus 1. You can clearly see R is the bigger of the 2, right? Yes. So, when R is the bigger of the 2, you take the R in the same form and R minus 1 is the smaller of the 2, you subtract it from n. So how do you write it? So you write it as, this will become what? This will become n minus R minus 1 and this will simply be considered as R. Yes? And then you flip this ratio. What do you do? Flip the ratio. You flip the ratio, this is going to become n minus R plus 1 divided by R is equal to 5/2. I told you to flip only one side, not both the sides. Okay, flip only this ratio. Got it? So once again I'll tell it. Choose the numbers R and R minus 1. The bigger will be in the same form and the smaller one would be like subtracted from n. N minus R minus 1. So the relationship is like this over here. Now I can obtain an equation in n and R over here. I can clearly obtain an equation in n and R. My equation will be 2n minus 6R minus 2R minus 5R is going to be minus 6R plus 2 equals 0. This is my equation in n and R. Okay. Now in the second case, what is going to come? In the second case, what is going to come? The second case, the ratio is going to be between these 2 terms. Yes. So it's going to be NCR plus 1 divided by NCR and the ratio is 12 divided by 5. The ratio is 12 divided by 5. Now in this case, what will happen is, you are again looking at the bigger one. The bigger one is R plus 1. The smaller one is R. And what did I say? The bigger one is taken in the same form, that is R plus 1. The smaller one will be subtracted from n. Okay. And the ratio will be flipped. So you will get n minus R divided by R plus 1 is equal to 12 divided by 5. Now you will get one more equation in n and R. Let's see, this is going to become 5n minus 5R minus 12R minus 17R, okay, minus 12 is equal to 0. This is my second equation. Now I have 2 simultaneous equations in n and R. Yes, if I solve them, what will I get? I can get the value of n and R, right? My question here is to find n. You can please solve it. I'm not wasting my time on solving these 2 equations. You can please solve it and the answer would be 118. Answer for n is equal to, solve the 2 equations. Solve, okay, solve the 2 equations and you will get n is equal to 118. N is equal to 118. Okay, I hope it's clear. Fine. Can we move to the next question? Okay. Now, the next question. The question is so clear. They're giving you that there are n stations in a circular path. Can you see it's a circular path? Yes, there are n stations. So let me mark the n stations now for you. The first station may be over here, the second station over here, the third station over here, and fourth station is over here, fifth is over here, and so on. You can see that there are n stations in the circular path. Okay, and the next thing they're saying, two consecutive stations are connected by blue lines. So I will take a blue line to connect two consecutive stations. What do you mean by consecutive stations? Stations which are adjacent to each other, right? Stations which are adjacent to each other. So this is going to be connected like this, right? Okay, so if I go on with this connection, you can see that you are going to get a polygon. Yes, you are going to get a polygon, right? Ultimately, you will come back to station number 1 because it is a circular path. Always you're going to get a blue line between two consecutive stations, right? Okay, now what are they saying the next? In the next saying, they're connecting it with a red line. They're connecting what with a red line? The stations which are not adjacent to each other. The stations which are not. So you cannot connect 1 and 2 with a red line. So I will connect 1 and 3. I will connect 1 and 4. I'll connect 1 and 5, 1 and 6, and go on like this. And then I'll connect 2 and 3, 2 and 4. Yes, 2 and 5, 2 and 6, and it goes on like this. Can you see that this is now forming the diagonals of the polygon? So the line which connects, the blue line which connects between the adjacent stations becomes the polygon, and the red lines become the diagonal of that polygon. So I'll mention it again. Blue lines are what? Blue lines are sides of the polygon. Blue lines are the sides of the polygon. Okay, and the red lines are the diagonals. The red lines are the diagonals. Now what am I supposed to do? The question is asking you, the question is saying if the number of red lines is equal to 99 times the number of blue lines. The number of red lines is 99 times the number of blue lines. Now, you know the formula in permutation combination to find the number of diagonals of a polygon. What is the formula for that? Number of diagonals is equal to NC2 minus N. How do I get this? NC2 is the number of combinations or number of lines that can be formed between 2 points from a collection of n points. Okay, because to form a line I need 2 points, but that would also include what? The adjacent sides, the sides of the polygon. So I don't want that. So that will be subtracted as the number of sides n. You will have n sides in the polygon. So NC2 includes the diagonals and the sides of the polygon, but I want only the diagonals, so I say NC2 minus n. Now what are they saying? The number of red lines is 99 times. Isn't the number of diagonals equal to the number of red lines? So I'm saying NC2 minus n is equal to 99 times the number of blue lines. So 99n. So NC2 can be written as n into n minus 1 divided by 2 is equal to the minus n goes to the other side. You will get 100n. So I can take out n on both sides. So I will get n minus 1 is equal to 200. N equals 201. So how many lines are there, or what is the value of n? Okay, what is the value of n? The value of n is option 1, 201. I hope it's clear. Yes. Okay, now let's go to the next question. The next question is, you're supposed to be finding the integral 1 to 2 modulus of 2x minus the greatest integer of 3x dx. This question, most of the students left it out because they found it very difficult, because usually greatest integer function is always a very complicated process. But it was not that difficult. There was one part in this question which was difficult. Okay, now I'll make it simple for you. Now let's go for it one by one. Now here the question is integral 1 to 2 modulus of 2x minus the greatest integer of 3x dx. Now for doing this question, I want you to be going through this very simple concept. The concept is like this. The concept says that any integer or any number, real number, minus its greatest integer will give you a number called the fractional part of that real number. Okay? Any real number minus the greatest integer of the real number is the fractional part of the real number. Okay, now from this I can give an example for this. Like for example, my x is equal to 1.23. Okay, so if I say 1.23 minus the greatest integer of 1.23, you know what is the greatest integer, right? A greatest integer will be the greatest integer just before the real number. So the greatest integer just before 1.23 is 1. So your greatest integer of 1.23 is 1. So 1.23 minus 1 is definitely 0.23. Isn't that the fractional part of 1.23? Yes, the fractional part is 0.23. Got it? Is it understood? So how do you understand the concept over here? X minus greatest integer is the fractional part. So the fractional part is always a value. You need to understand, the fractional part is always a value which ranges from 0 to 1. You cannot have a fractional part which is more than 1. So that is, it will be included in the domain, in the range 0 to 1. My fractional part will always be in the range 0 to 1. Okay, keep that in mind. Now I'm going to do this. So this same question, see what I'm going to do here is, I'll say limit integral 1 to 2 modulus of this greatest integer of 3x will be written as, greatest integer of 3x will be written as 3x minus the fractional part of 3x. What? The greatest integer of 3x will be 3x minus the fractional part of 3x. So you can obtain from the relationship, right? Greatest integer x is x minus the fractional part of x. The same way. So this is going to be 2x minus 3x. Okay. So this expression can be now written as 1 to 2 modulus 2x minus 3x would be minus x, and minus of minus is plus fractional part of 3x. Okay. Now, you can see from the limits, it is from 1 to 2. The value of x ranges from 1 to 2. But the fractional part is a function which always ranges from 0 to 1. So, the x minus the fractional part of 3x will be positive, but fractional part of 3x, which is always smaller than x, is always going to be negative. Yes, but because of the presence of modulus, getting a negative is irrelevant, right? So can I say this, that it is equivalent to say that this is integral 1 to 2 x minus greatest fractional part of 3x dx, because it is modulus. Because it is modulus, that negative and positive are always going to be the same. So it's going to be x minus the fractional part of 3x. So integrating x is not difficult, but how to integrate fractional part of 3x? That's the most key important. So here I want you to remember one more trick. Like I said, x, the fractional part of x is always a value from 0 to 1. So if I say this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and so on. the fractional part of x, like the x value from 0 to 1 will always make it a value from 0 to 1. You will not get the fractional part more than 1. So if I take a value from 1 to 2, my real number x is a value from 1 to 2, the fractional part of that is still from 0 to 1. This is the fractional part of x. Okay, the fractional part of x is always, so this is like what? It's like a piecewise function. You can see that this is forming right angle triangles over here. So actually the integral of a fractional part using definite integrals is the area of this triangle. It's a very common expression in integration. Okay, the fractional part, the definite integral of a fractional part from 0 to 1, okay, is the area of that triangle. Is that area of that triangle. Okay, so now I should be now more concerned about what is the fractional part of 3x. Remember this trick, all of you. The number over here is 3x. Though it is 3x, the fractional part is always going to be from 0 to 1. But the number 3 will divide the fractional part into 3 parts. The number 3 will divide the fractional part from 1 to 2 into 3 parts. You know what are the 3 parts? I can just say, because it's a very lengthy concept, for this answer I'm just saying the simple concept. 1 to 2 can be divided into 3 parts, like it's going to be 3 by 3, 4 by 3, 5 by 3 and 6 by 3. I can divide into 3 parts, and all these 3 parts are equal parts. So I will say that this integral can be represented as 3 times, learn it please, 3 times 0 to 1 by 3, because whatever be the number 3x, the fractional part of 3x is always from 0 to 1. So actually I am dividing it from 0 to 1, not 1 to 2. Fractional part will never range from 1 to 2. It will always range from, the value will always range from 0 to 1. So I am saying that 0 to 1 is divided into 3 parts, which is 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, which is 0 to 1 by 3 of 3x dx. Okay, now this is going to be integral 1 to 2x dx, okay, minus 3 times 0 to 1 by 3, 3x dx. Now it is a normal definite integral question which you can simply evaluate and find the integral. Okay, now if you evaluate and find the integral, I don't want to waste the time to evaluate this simple definite integral question. The answer that you will be getting is 1. The answer that you will be getting is 1. Okay, so the option is number first option, 1. Okay, I'll explain once again this trick part of a fractional parts integral. Always try to remember this. What is the fractional part integral you're trying to find out? 3x. Whatever be the number inside the fractional part, the fractional part of that 3x would always be a value from 0 to 1, and because it is 3x, it will divide it into 3 parts. Now if it was 4x, it will divide into 4 parts. So the limit will be from 0 to 1 by 4. 4 times 0 to 1 by 4. This is 3 times 0 to 1 by 3. Understood? If it was 2, 2 times 0 to 1 by 2. That is a shortcut. Okay, keep this in your mind. It will be very helpful because this is a very common question. Integral of a greatest integer function, which is always converted into a fractional part. Without that, you can't do it. Okay, now the definite integral of a fractional part is the area of this triangle over here. I hope it's clear, everyone. It's not an easy question, but try to learn it. Those who did not understand the concept, please rewind the question again and then play it again and listen very carefully. Okay, let's go to the next question. Next question. The question says that if x squared minus y squared sec squared theta equals to 10 is a hyperbola. Okay, and x squared sec squared theta plus y squared is equal to 5 is a ellipse. Okay, and the eccentricity of the hyperbola is root 5 times the eccentricity of the ellipse. Now let's try to analyze the equation now. What is the equation over here? Equation of the hyperbola is x squared minus y squared sec squared theta equals 10. Now this is not the standard form of the equation of a hyperbola. You have to convert it into the standard form. So you can write it as x squared by 10 minus y squared by 10. Bring the sec squared theta down. You will get cos squared theta equal to 1. Now this looks like a hyperbola. Okay. Now in a hyperbola, we know that the hyperbola is on the x-axis in this case, because here it is positive for the x squared and negative for the y squared. So from here it's very clear, my a squared is equal to 10 and my b squared is equal to 10 cos squared theta. So can you tell me what is the formula for c squared? Just think, the focus of the hyperbola c is related to the what is this a and the value of b in what form? The form is c squared equals b squared plus a squared. C squared equals b squared plus a squared. So c squared is equal to b squared is 10 cos squared theta plus 10. So 10 into 1 plus cos squared theta. C squared is equal to 10 into 1 plus cos squared theta. Now let's look at the next one. The next one is the equation of the ellipse. So what is the equation of the ellipse? X squared sec squared theta plus y squared is equal to 5. Now again, this is not the standard form of the equation of an ellipse. You're supposed to be dividing it by 5. So I will get x squared by 5 cos squared theta plus y squared by 5 equals 1. Now how do you identify the type of the ellipse over here? The variable which has the bigger number. Now the confusion for every student is, isn't 5 cos squared theta bigger because I'm multiplying cos squared theta with 5? No, here's an exception over here. You are multiplying cos squared theta. You know what is the value range of a cos squared theta function? It is from 0 to 1. You multiply a number from 0 to 1 with 5, you are always going to get a number which is less than 5. So definitely 5 is greater than 5 cos squared theta. So for me, a squared equals 5 and b squared equals 5 cos squared theta. Now we're going to find what is the c squared of the ellipse. So what is the c squared formula of the ellipse? C squared is equal to a squared minus b squared. So that is going to be c squared is equal to a squared is 5. So you get 5 into 1 minus cos squared theta. So let's not convert it as sin squared theta, because there's a final answer you would require this in cos squared theta terms, because the other one is also in cos squared theta. Let's not convert it. So c squared is equal to 5 into 1 minus cos squared theta. So now we know the relationship between the eccentricity of the hyperbola and the eccentricity of the ellipse that is given in the question. So eccentricity of the hyperbola is equal to root 5 times the eccentricity of the ellipse. Eccentricity formula for both the cases, it is c by a. And what is the c by a of the hyperbola? For the hyperbola, c by a is root of, or let me say squared, then eccentricity squared is root 5 squared into eccentricity of the ellipse squared. So that square root can be avoided. So it's going to be 10 into 1 plus cos squared theta divided by a squared, which is 10. Yes, is equal to 5 into 5 into 1 minus cos squared theta divided by 5. So 10, 5 cancels. So I will have now the relationship 6 cos squared theta equals 4 cos squared theta equals 4 by 6. Now let me remind you, what is the eccentricity formula? Eccentricity of whatever be the hyperbola or the eccentricity of the ellipse. In both the cases, the formula is c by a. Both the cases the formula is C by A. Now I'm supposed to find what? The length of the latus rectum. The length of the latus rectum. How do you find the length of the latus rectum here? So the latus rectum is equal to 2b squared divided by A. 2b squared divided by the length of latus rectum of the ellipse. So what is the b squared of the ellipse? B squared of the ellipse is 2 into 5 cos squared theta divided by A of the ellipse. A of the ellipse is root 5. Yes, cos squared theta is 4 by 6. Substitute, you will get 10 into 4 by root 5 into 6. Okay, now root 5. Okay, so now root 5 can be cancelled with 10. You will get 2 root 5. Okay, and 6 and this will cancel. You will get 2 by 3. So answer is 4 root 5 divided by 3. 4 root 5 divided by 3, and that is the option 1. It's a lengthy answer. I know it's a lengthy answer, but you have no other choice because it involves both the conics and there is nothing where I can relate both the conics with. Okay, so it will be two different conics. One is an ellipse, one is a hyperbola. You would individually find the values. That is why this step was lengthier. Okay, so I hope it's clear. It's easy but lengthy, that's all. You could do it in like 1 minute, 2 minutes, you can do the question, no problem. But the answer is very simple, you will surely get the answer. Let's now discuss the next question now. Okay, the next question, what does the next question say for you? I want you to find the limit of this function. The question is limit x tends to 0 tan of pi by 4 plus x the whole power 1 by x. The limit is x tends to 0. What happens if I put x is equal to 0? It's an undefined form. X is equal to 0 will result in 1 power infinity. X is equal to 0 will result in 1 power infinity. Now let me tell you a shortcut for this. Now you can consider the function over here as f of x. Yes. The function over here as g of x. When you see such a question, you can learn a shortcut for this method. Okay, the shortcut goes like this. Now because the power is 1 by x, the power is 1 by x is in the form of an infinite, right? So I have to somehow bring it down. The only way I can bring it down is by applying the properties of log. Yes? What happens if I apply the property of the log? The power will come down. So you can do it that way. It's a bit lengthier. Let's not do it that way. Let's think of this form. Please try to learn this 1 by infinity form can be written as e raised to limit x tends to 0, e raised to limit x tends to 0, f of x minus 1 into g of x. Can you learn it? It's a shortcut. Whenever you have, see, because this 1 by x or the power of infinity is a very common question in JEE exams. So now, whenever you have a 1 raised to infinity form, learn this shortcut. E raised to limit x tends to 0, f of x minus 1 into g of x. So this can be written as e raised to limit x tends to 0. Now, what is your f of x, guys? What is your f of x? I told you this. Okay, I'm sorry. It includes everything over here. That's tan of pi by 4 plus x minus 1 into 1 by x, which is my g of x. Okay. Now you know this tan of 45 plus x. Tan of 45 plus x is 1 plus tan x by 1 minus tan x. Apply that formula, please. You can write it as limit x tends to 0. X tends to 0, 1 plus tan x divided by 1 minus tan x minus 1 into 1 by x. Okay? Understood? So now if you simplify this, applying the LCM method, this further becomes e raised to limit x tends to 0, 2 tan x by 1 minus tan x into 1 by x. Now I want all of you to remember this formula that you would have learned in limits. limit of x tends to 0 tan x by x. What is limit of x tends to 0 tan x by x? It is 1. What is it? Limit of x tends to 0 tan x divided by x. You know it is 1. Yes, apply that over here. Your answer is going to be e raised to limit x tends to 0. That becomes 1. So it's 2 by 1 minus tan x. Now you have one more x variable. That is x is equal to 0. What is tan 0? Tan 0 is also 0. So answer is going to be e raised to 2 by 1, which is e squared. So what is my answer for this limit? E squared. So I want you people to by heart this shortcut. What is this shortcut? Whenever you have a 1 raised to infinity form, you're supposed to remember that this function over here will be called my f of x and this function over here will be called my g of x. And what is the reason? You have a variable in the power, the logarithm properties. E is the inverse of log, natural log. So you're going to be applying this formula shortcut method. You can easily write it. If you want, you can learn it. Otherwise, you have to apply log on both sides. Call it y and apply log on both sides. You can do it by that way also. It is much longer. This, if you know, it's short. That's why I'm doing it in this method. I hope it's clear. Okay. Now, let's move to the next question. The next question is very clear. F of x is a quadratic polynomial such that f of x is equal to 0 has a root 3 and f of 2 plus f of minus 1 is also equal to 0. Now it is said that f of x is a quadratic polynomial and it has a root. So x is equal to 3 is a root. So can I say if it is a root, then x minus 3 is one of the factors? X minus 3 is a factor, yes? I can write it like that, right? Yes? So if one factor is available, they are asking you to find the other root or the other value of x. So let us assume let x is equal to alpha is the other root. So if x is equal to alpha is the other root, what is the factor over here? The factor is x minus alpha is the factor. Which is the factor? X minus alpha is the factor. In this case, how will you write the polynomial? My quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial will look like. So how will my quadratic polynomial look like? F of x is equal to x minus 3, the first factor, x minus alpha, the second factor. But the coefficient of a quadratic polynomial is x squared is not always 1. Now you're considering 1. So as I'm assuming the quadratic polynomial has a coefficient of k for the term x squared. Okay, so it's k into x minus 3 into x minus alpha. Okay, now what is given in the question, guys? What is given? F of 2 plus f of minus 1 is equal to 0. F of 2 plus f of minus 1 equals 0. What happens if you apply f of 2? F of 2 will make it k into minus 1 into 2 minus alpha. And what is f of minus 1? K into minus 4 minus 1 minus alpha equals 0. But you can see k is common. The common mistake you might do is, sir, k is common. Let's take it out. K is 0. No. If k is 0, this is no longer quadratic. A quadratic polynomial will have the value of k because the coefficient of x squared cannot be 0. It should be at least 1 or negative or positive. Yes, it can't be 0, so k is never 0. Okay, then which is the other part which is going to be 0? The remaining part can be considered 0. So what is the remaining part over here? If you take out k, what is the remaining part? This is going to be minus 2 plus alpha. Minus 2 plus alpha, and the remaining part plus 4 alpha. Okay, this is equal to 0. Okay, now you try to solve it. It's going to become 5 alpha plus 2 equal to 0 and alpha is equal to minus 2 by 5. I got my second root, which is minus 2 by 5. Now look at the option. They're asking you minus 2 by 5 lies in which interval? Minus 2 by 5 lies in which interval? The first option is from minus 1 to 0. Definitely minus 2 by 5 lies in the interval minus 1 to 0. So where does the second root lie? The second root lies between minus 1 to 0. Okay? Is it clear, all of you? Yes? Understood? Okay. Now let's go to the next question. What's the next question? The next question is asking you to assume that y is equal to f of x is a curve and which satisfies the differential equation 2x squared dy is equal to 2xy plus y squared dx, and it passes through the point 1, 2. They're asking you to find the value of f of 1 by 2. So when a differential equation is given and you're supposed to find the function f of x, how are you supposed to do it? It's a differential equation chapter question. You're supposed to solve the differential equation. Now let's try to identify what kind of a differential equation this is. Now let's write the differential equation over here. The differential equation is 2x squared dy equals 2xy plus y squared dx. This is my differential equation. So when I rearrange it, definitely the differential equation is dy by dx is equal to 2xy plus y squared divided by 2x squared. You have three types of differential equations in your grade 12 chapter. Differential equations, right? So grade 12 chapter, the differential equation has three types. One is a variable separable form, second one is a homogeneous form, and the third one is a linear differential form. This is clearly a homogeneous differential equation. This is a homogeneous differential equation. So how do you do a homogeneous differential equation? A very simple substitution. What is the substitution? I'll say let y is equal to vx, okay, then dy by dx becomes v plus x into dv by dx. dy by dx is equal to v plus x into dv by dx. Substitute it. So what will I get dy by dx as? V plus x into dv by dx is equal to 2x, so 2vx squared plus v squared x squared divided by 2x squared. You can see x squared is common throughout. I can take out the x squared. Yes. Now take this v to the right hand side. I will get x into dv by dx. Apply LCM on the right hand side. You will get 2v plus v squared minus 2v divided by 2. So plus 2v minus 2v again cancels. So it's a very simple form now. It's a very simple form now. So what is the answer over here? I can write on the left hand side 2 divided by v squared dv is equal to dx divided by x, and I'll integrate both sides. I'll integrate both sides. What is the integral of this? It's going to be 2 by 1 by v is equal to log x plus c. 2 into 1 by v is equal to log x, and v is y by x. So 2 by v is 2x by y equals log x plus c. Now there is a chance to find the arbitrary constant c here because they are saying that the curve passes through 1, 2. The curve passes through 1, 2. So 1, 2 is a point. Then I can say x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 2. Left hand side will become 1 and the right hand side will become log 1 plus c, and log 1 is 0. So c is equal to 1. So if c is equal to 1, my equation now becomes 2x by y is equal to log x plus 1. So I have to find y from this. That will help me to find the value of f of 1 by 2. So from this, y is equal to y is equal to 2x divided by log x plus 1. Y is equal to 2x divided by log x plus 1, and put x is equal to 1 by 2. So f of 1 by 2 is equal to 2 into 1 by 2 divided by log x. Log x is going to be log 1 by 2 plus 1, and log 1 by 2, try to understand, log 1 by 2 is log 2 to the power of minus 1. So this is going to be 1 by log 2 power minus 1 plus 1. Apply the property of log. This will definitely become 1 by 1 minus log 2. Yes, 1 by 1 minus log 2. You can see option 2, 1 by 1 minus ln 2. ln is natural log, and I just simply wrote it as a common log. So you can write this as 1 minus ln 2. No problem. Both the answers are perfectly right. Yes, because we learned the formula in terms of log, we write log, but it's a common thing to write as a natural log. Both the same. So answer is 1 by 1 minus log 2. Yes. Hope it's clear. Let's go to the next question now. Next question is a probability chapter question. Now, the question is very clear. They're saying that there are 3 events A, B, and C. And they're saying that these 3 events are pairwise independent events. What do you mean by pairwise independent? Independent means your probability of A intersection B would be probability of A into probability of B. So pairwise independent means A intersection B becomes A into B, B intersection C would become B into C, and A intersection C would become A into C. And they're also saying that the probability of A intersection B intersection C equals 0. Now I'm supposed to find the value of what? The value of the probability of B complement intersection C complement, okay, given A. Now, a lot of properties come under this question. I'll discuss them one by one. The first thing is what happens with B complement intersection C complement. We can use De Morgan's law. According to De Morgan's law, B complement intersection C complement is B union C. B union C, the whole complement given A. B union C, the whole complement given A. What happened over here? I applied the De Morgan's law. Okay, I applied the De Morgan's law. Now, I have one more law according to the property of conditional probability. That is, if I have a complement in the first set, then I can clearly write it as probability of A, the second set, minus the probability of B union C intersection A divided by the probability of A. Learn it. I'll write that formula over here in terms of E and F, which will make you to understand. How this happened is the probability of E complement given F is P of F minus P of E intersection F divided by the P of F. Okay, probability of E complement given F will make it probability of F minus probability of E intersection F divided by probability of F. So here E is B union C. So it will become probability of A minus probability of E intersection F divided by the probability of F. Is it understood? Yes. Now open this using the distributive property. Using distributive property, if I open it, I will get this as probability of A minus the probability of B intersection A union C intersection A divided by the probability of A. Yes. Now, B intersection A union C intersection A is a union of two events. The union of two events. How do you write the union of two events? It can be written as probability of A minus, okay, union is P of E plus P of F minus P of E intersection F. Can you see it is the intersection of all the three? B intersection A intersection C intersection A. So A is coming 2 times, you just need to write it once, divided by the P of A. Okay, now can you see this is going to be 0 according to the question? Can you see according to the question over here, A intersection B intersection C is equal to 0. So that part is going to become 0, right? Probability of A minus, because it is pairwise disjoint, what will happen to these two? This will become probability of B into probability of A, okay, plus probability of C into probability of A, okay, divided by the probability of A. Can you see probability of A is common throughout? Probability of A, probability of A, probability of A, and probability of A. It is common throughout. Take it out, cancel it. So my final answer in the numerator is 1 minus probability of B minus probability of C. Now I have to go to the options. Look at the options, all of you. What does the first option say? Probability of C plus probability of B. This is never going to become probability of C plus probability of B. Second option, probability of C complement plus probability of B. Anyway, it's not going to be plus probability of B because all of them are in minus terms. Now look at the third option. Probability of B complement is equal to probability of C. No way, you can't get it equal. The fourth option, probability of C complement minus probability of B. Look at this. Can I say this is 1 minus probability of C, which is probability of C complement minus the probability of B. Probability of C complement minus the probability of B, which is my fourth option. My fourth option is probability of C complement minus probability of B. A lot of properties of probability came here. So it was an intentional question which covered all the properties, most probably all the formulas and properties of probability chapter. Is it clear, all of you? Now let's go to the next question. Now in the next question, it is clearly given that it's a series. Okay, now in this series, they're asking you to evaluate the value of k in the sum of the special series, and they're given the answer for the sum. You can take the expression now. The expression is x plus ka plus x squared plus k minus 2a plus x cube plus k minus 4a, and it is going up to 9 terms. Okay? You just have to go observe the expression very closely. Okay, now when you observe the expression very closely, when you look at the first terms of every bracket, look at the first terms of every bracket. Can you see that it is something like a geometric series? Yes, it is clearly a geometric series. It is clearly a geometric series. Now when I look at the second terms of every bracket, okay, it is like Ka plus k minus 2a plus k minus 4a, so on. Yes, the second terms look like an arithmetic series. Okay, the second set of terms look like an arithmetic series. This is a geometric series, that is an arithmetic series. Let's analyze what are the values associated to the sum of these two series. The first term is x. The common ratio is x, and the number of terms is equal to 9. Okay, for this geometric series. Now for this arithmetic series, the first term is equal to Ka. The common difference D is equal to negative 2a. Ka minus 2a will make it k minus 2a. Okay, now the number of terms is again 9. So what is the sum of terms of a geometric series? The formula, you know the formula? The sum is a into r raised to n minus 1 divided by r minus 1 plus number of terms over here 9 by 2 into, okay, 2a. What is 2a? 2ka plus n minus 1, 9 minus 1, 8 into d. Okay, then this sum is given as the final answer. Let's analyze it later on. Now we'll just multiply this x inside. I will get x raised to 10 minus x divided by x minus 1. And when I multiply 9 by 2 inside, I will get 9 Ka, okay, plus 9 into minus 8a. This is my expression. Take this together. Okay, now in the final answer that is given to me in the question, the denominator is x minus 1. The denominator is x minus 1. So I'll make the LCM as x minus 1 over here. So my first term is x raised to 10 minus x. My second term is 9 Ka minus 72a into x minus 1. The whole divided by x minus 1. Now when I compare the answer that I got and with the question that they have given me, it is pretty clear that this bracket is equal to minus 45a. This bracket is equal to minus 45a. So when I analyze the answer, 9 Ka minus 72a is equal to minus 45a. A is common throughout. Yes. So answer 9k is equal to 72 minus 45. 9ka is equal to 72 minus 45. What is 72 minus 45? 72 minus 45 is 27. 27. So 27 divided by 9 and k is equal to 3. So k is equal to 3 is the answer for this question. Okay. I hope it's clear. Yes. Understand that every special series question should be analyzed very closely. It will be something related to the geometric series and arithmetic series that you have seen. Now, what is the series called? A special series. Okay, it's called what? A special series. Okay, next one. The next question here, the question is very clear. They're giving you the position vectors of 2 points A and B, and the line which joins the 2 points is divided by the point P in the ratio lambda is to 1. And they're giving you an expression which relates all these vectors, and now they're asking you to find the value of lambda. Let us analyze. So here, for easy calculation, I am calling the position vector of A equals A vector and the position vector of B equals B vector. Okay, and the position vector of OP vector is equal to the P vector. Okay, now I have to find the P vector. Yes, P vector is formed by dividing the line segment joining A and B in the ratio lambda is to 1, and according to that property I can say that P vector is equal to lambda OB vector plus 1 OA vector divided by lambda plus 1, and our assumption is OB is equal to B vector. So I can say P vector is equal to lambda B vector plus A vector divided by lambda plus 1. This is my P vector. Yes. Now I'll take my expression that is given to me in the question. The expression says OB dot OP minus 3 magnitude of OA cross OP the whole square equals 6. This is the expression. Let's substitute our assumptions. OB is B vector dot OP is, that's a P vector, lambda B vector plus A vector divided by lambda plus 1 minus 3 magnitude of OA cross OP. OA is A vector cross OP is P vector, which is lambda B vector plus A vector divided by lambda plus 1, the whole square equals to 6. Now we need to analyze few properties of vectors. The first one, what happens if I take the dot product between B vector and B vector? It becomes B vector dot B vector. It's like magnitude of B the whole square. From this expression over here, what is the magnitude of B? What is the magnitude of B here? 4 plus 1, 5. 5 plus 9, which is 14, right? 14. So squared becomes, so magnitude squared is 14. So this is 14 lambda. Okay, 14 lambda. Now A, B dot A or A dot B, you know how to find the dot product, right? Now from here, what is my A dot B? What is my A dot B? 2 plus 1, 3 plus 3, 6. A dot B is equal to 6 divided by lambda plus 1 minus. Now 3 into magnitude of, you look at this, the first one, you can see this lambda plus 1, the whole squared, it's like what? It's like a scalar quantity. It's not going to affect the vector multiplication here. I need A cross B. I need A cross B. Now look at this. I have A and B. I have to find A cross B. Yes. How to find A cross B? From the vectors that is given to me, it's 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3. What is A cross B? The first is going to be what? In A cross B, the first is the cross multiplication between these two. Yes, it's 3 minus 1, which is 2i. Yes, A cross B is 2i. Then 1, 3 and 2, it's going to be plus minus 1j. Minus 1j, and the last one is going to be 1 minus 2, which is minus 1k. Yes, the magnitude of this squared, the magnitude is 4 plus 1 plus 1 under the root. So magnitude of A cross B is equal to root 6. I want the square of that. But you can see that this is A cross A, it is irrelevant. A cross A is going to be always 0. The cross product between the same vector is 0. So I am only concerned about the magnitude of A cross B. So this becomes lambda squared, okay, divided by lambda plus 1 whole squared, okay, and this is going to be the magnitude of A cross B squared is equal to 6. Okay, now magnitude of A cross B squared over there, it's pretty clear, it's 6. Now my answer, 14 lambda plus 6 divided by lambda plus 1 minus 3 lambda squared by lambda plus 1 the whole squared, and the magnitude squared is also 6 is equal to 6. Now everything is related to 6. Now this is an expression for lambda. Yes, this is an expression for lambda. If you sit and solve this expression for lambda, you can solve it. We're not going to be wasting time on solving the value for lambda. It's pretty clear. Lambda is equal to 4 by 5. Lambda is equal to 4 by 5. It's not an MCQ question. It is a descriptive question. So lambda is equal to 4 by 5. Just you can solve this expression applying LCM and all, you have to solve it. Okay, so pretty clear over here the properties that we used. If you want, I'll be noting down this property also over here. What is happening over here? What is that? A cross product between the same vector is 0. You just use that, then I'll be only concerned about getting the magnitude of A cross B. That is why I went after the magnitude of A cross B and left alone A cross A, distributive property in operations of vectors. Okay, now let's do the next question. Now the next question, you can see that they're asking you to find the area bounded by the region given by x squared less than equal to y less than equal to 2x. Okay, and this region is bisected by the line y is equal to alpha. Y is equal to alpha is a horizontal line. Yes, now we just need to understand what is the area they're talking about. So when I draw it on this graph over here, x squared less than equal to y is definitely a parabola. X squared equals y is a parabola. And the next line is y is equal to 2x. So if I draw that line, it is going to be passing over here like this. Y is equal to 2x definitely passes through the origin, and we need to find this point where it is going to pass the parabola. Now let's try to equate. This is the line y is equal to 2x and the other one is the parabola x squared equals y. You try to equate them both. You can clearly see that x squared equals x 2x. Okay, x squared and x will cancel. I get x is equal to 2. So at this point x is equal to 2, then y equals 4. So they're asking me to find this area bounded between the straight line and the parabola. So this required area is going to be what? Area equals integral 0 to 2 y of the line minus y of the parabola. Y of the line minus the y of the parabola. So what is the y of the line? What is the y of the line? Y of the line is 2x. Y of the parabola is x squared dx. And if I integrate it, what do I get? I'll get x squared minus x cubed divided by 3 from 0 to 2. Find the area. So what will I get? The area is equal to 4 minus 8 by 3, which is equal to 4 by 3. 4 minus 8 by 3, so that area is 4 by 3. But that is not the answer that is given in the options. The answer that is given in the options is related to the value of alpha. Now let's draw that line over here. The line y is equal to alpha. The line y is equal to alpha, and this line bisects these two. The area of between these two curves. Bisect means what? The area is divided into two equal parts. The area is divided into two equal parts. Now, if this is the line y is equal to alpha, and if I want to relate this area with respect to the value of y, which is alpha, I have to find the same area with respect to y-axis. The same area with respect to y-axis, area with respect to y-axis. Area with respect to y-axis is given by, what is it? Area on the right minus the curve on the right minus curve on the left. Now parabola becomes the curve. So the answer is going to be, what is the x of the parabola? X of the parabola minus x of the line. X of the parabola minus x of the line, and I'll multiply it with 2 because it becomes twice. And the value of y is from 0 to alpha, because the y is equal to alpha is bisecting the line. So the limit is from 0 to alpha. So what is the x of the parabola? What is the x of the parabola? Clearly, what is the x of the parabola? It is root y. Yes, x of the parabola is root y minus, what is the x of the line? X of the line is y by 2. And the limit is from 0 to alpha. Okay, if I integrate it, what is root y? What is the integral of root y? 2 by 3, 2 by 3, y raised to 3 by 2, y is alpha, alpha raised to 3 by 2, minus y by 2 is y squared by 4. Y by 2 is y squared by 4, and y is alpha. Y is alpha, we just have to put alpha over here. So if you put alpha over here, alpha squared by 4. Now these two areas are equal. Now it's getting multiplied with 2 also. Now it has to get multiplied with 2 also. Okay. Now they are saying this area is equal to 4 by 3. This area is equal to 4 by 3. This area is equal to 4 by 3. Please try to solve these two. Can I say this 2 and this 2 will cancel? Yes. Now this is 12, LCM is 12, so 4 becomes 8 alpha raised to 3 by 2 minus 6 alpha squared. 8 alpha raised to 3 by 2 minus 3 alpha squared minus 3 alpha squared. 8 alpha raised to 3 by 2 minus 3 alpha squared is equal to 24 by 3, which is 8. 24 by 3, which is 8. Okay, now that is option 1. Option 8 alpha raised to 3 by 2 minus 3 alpha squared is equal to 8. Understood? So I found out the area with respect to x, area with respect to y, and because these two areas are of the same region, why did I find it with respect to y? Because they are converting in terms of alpha. Okay, so I just equated them both. I got the answer as 8. Okay, 8 alpha raised to 3 by 2 minus 3 alpha squared is equal to 8. Let's go to the next question now. Now, the next question is again very easy, much easier, because everyone is very used to the expression sine raised to 4 theta plus cos raised to 4 theta. So we have easily going to write the answer for that expression now. What is it? Sine raised to 4 theta plus cos raised to 4 theta plus lambda is equal to 0. It's a very common equation in trigonometry. Okay, sine raised to 4 plus cos raised to 4 is actually 1 minus 2 sine squared theta cos squared theta plus lambda equals 0. How did this happen? This 1 can be treated like sine squared theta plus cos squared theta, which is 1. Yes, sine squared theta plus cos squared theta, but that sine squared is actually sine squared theta whole squared plus cos squared theta whole squared. Here, instead of sine theta and cos theta, I am actually using sine squared theta and cos squared theta. That's all. Okay, now this is like 1 minus 4 sine squared theta cos squared theta divided by 2 equals minus lambda. I have multiplied and divided by 2 in this expression. This 2 sine squared theta cos squared theta is multiplied and divided by 2, so that now this looks like sine 2 theta the whole square. What is sine 2 theta? 2 sine theta cos theta. So sine 2 theta the whole square is 2 sine theta cos theta the whole square, which is 4 sine square theta cos square theta. So this can be written as 1 minus sine 2 theta the whole square divided by 2 equals minus lambda. Rearrange it, I'll get 1 plus lambda equals sine 2 theta the whole square divided by 2. Lambda is equal to sine 2 theta the whole square divided by 2 minus 1. Now let us think of the range of sine theta. Sin x, whatever be the angle inside, whether be 2 theta or 5 theta or 75 theta, whatever be the angle inside the range of sin x. What is the range of sin x? Sin x ranges from minus 1 to 1. Then what happens to sine squared x? Sine squared x ranges from 0 to 1. Sine squared x ranges from 0 to 1. So sine squared x, sine 2 theta whole squared is like sine squared x. It ranges from 0 to 1. So what happens if I divide it by 2? So what is the range of sine squared x divided by 2? It is from 0 to 1 by 2. It becomes 0 to 1 by 2. So the minimum value is 0. So 0 minus 1. What is 0 minus 1? 0 minus 1 is minus 1. That becomes sine squared x divided by 2 minus 1, and it becomes 1 by 2 minus 1. What is 1 by 2 minus 1? It is minus half. So minus 1 to minus half, that is the range of this value of this expression. Okay, and that is equal to lambda, right? So what is lambda? Lambda belongs to minus 1 to minus half. Lambda belongs to minus 1 to minus half. Option 2. Is it understood, all of you? Okay, I hope it's clear, right? Can we move to the next question now? Okay, now in this question, again, it's a very simple question. It is a summation of an expression. Now, the key thing is understanding this expression over here. Let's take that expression now. 3 by 5 cos kx minus 4 by 5 sin kx. It's a very common expression in trigonometry. 3, 4 and 5. The numbers are very familiar numbers, right? It's actually a Pythagorean triplet. 3, 4, 5. So if I'm able to draw a right angle triangle, okay, and call this angle as alpha, and if this is 3, this is 4, this becomes 5. Now there is a particular reason I'm taking this 3 and 4. 5 is always the hypotenuse. 3 and 4 can be interchanged. Because I can see 3 by 5 coming over here, and I want that to become something related to cos. So that's why I made 3 as the adjacent side. Okay, I made 3 as the adjacent side because I wanted something related to cos. So can I say cos alpha equals 3 by 5 and sin alpha equal to 4 by 5? Yes. Apply it over here. Can I say this as cos alpha cos kx minus sin alpha sin kx? Now this is a very familiar trigonometry formula. Cos A cos B minus sin A sin B is cos A plus B. Cos A plus B. Yes. Now did you understand why I made it as cos? Because I have a cos inverse over here. I have a cos inverse over here. So now cos inverse of, what happens to cos inverse of cos alpha plus kx or kx plus alpha? It is irrelevant. So take it out. Cos inverse and cos, I'll get kx plus alpha. I'll get kx plus alpha. Now look at the expression. I want the summation of this with multiplied with k. So what is my y now? What is my y? Y is summation of k is equal to 1 to 6 multiply k to this expression kx plus alpha. So k when multiplied inside this expression will become summation k is equal to 1 to 6, k is equal to 1 to 6 k squared x plus k alpha. Now I am more concerned about the derivative dy by dx. They're asking me what is dy by dx. So when I take about the derivative, isn't this expression 0, this term? K is a constant. Alpha is also a constant, like 3 by 5, 4 by 5 are the numbers related to the angle alpha. So definitely a constant. So what is dy by dx now? Summation k is equal to 1 to 6 k squared is the only answer. This is a special series sum that you know, summation n squared. What is summation n squared? Please note it. Everybody knows what is summation n squared. Summation n squared is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. Summation n squared is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6, where n represents the number of terms. There are 6 terms over here. So this can be represented as 6 into 6 plus 1, 7 into 6 into 2, 12, 13 divided by 6. 6 and 6 will cancel. So the answer is 7 into 13, which is 91. 7 into 13 is 91, option 2. Okay, option 2. So this is the answer for question number 15. It's a very easy question. The only hint is you have to cross check about what happens to 3 by 5 and 4 by 5, which is very familiar Pythagorean triplet. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Now you can see in the next question they're talking about an increasing AP which has 11 terms. A1, A2, A3, etc. up to A11. So if I talk about an increasing AP, so can I say the terms are A plus D, A plus 2D, A plus 3D, etc. and the last 11th term would be A plus 10D. They say this is an increasing AP and we don't know what is A and what is D. Next one, they're saying that the variance of these terms is 90. Now, you have to apply something from statistics over here. Now, in statistics, it is said that when you add a set of numbers with a fixed term, you add or subtract, it doesn't matter. You add or subtract a set of numbers with a fixed term, the variance of these numbers does not change. The variance of the original numbers would be the same after adding or subtracting. Can you see that all these terms are constantly added by A? So finding the variance of these terms is same as finding the variance of these terms. Understand? Finding the variance of terms A plus D, A plus 2D, etc., A plus 10D is same as finding the variance of what? Removing the A. If I remove A from all these terms, the first term would become 0, second term is D, third term is 2D, fourth term is 3D, and up to the 11th term is 10D. And the variance is what? You know what is the formula for variance? What is the formula for variance? The formula for variance is sum of x minus x bar squared divided by n. X bar is the mean, arithmetic mean of numbers. I know this is an arithmetic progression. Now you know how to find the arithmetic mean of two numbers which are in an arithmetic progression, right? Add the two numbers, divide by 2. Now look at the two numbers 0 and 10. What is the arithmetic mean of these two numbers? 0 and 10. Isn't it 5D? Yes. Now what is the term before 10? Isn't it 9D? And this is 1D. What is the arithmetic mean of 1D and 9D? It is again 5D. So the arithmetic mean of all these numbers paired from first end to the last end is always 5D. The arithmetic mean is always 5D. Okay, and 5D is exactly in the middle. 5D is the middle term. 5D is the middle term. Yes, and these terms are equally spaced, so automatically my X bar is 5D. What is my X bar? My X bar is 5D. Okay. What happens if I try to find the variance using my arithmetic mean 5D? What happens to all the terms from 0 to 5D? What happens to all the terms from 0 to 5D and then 5D to 10D? What is the arithmetic mean of all these terms? 5D. So 0 minus 5D the whole squared is 25D squared. Yes. Then 1D minus 5D the whole squared, it's 4D the whole squared, which is 16D squared. Yes. The next would be 9D squared. And the next would be 4D squared. And the next would be my 5D minus 5D, which is 0D squared. Okay, then what happens after 5D? 5D is 6D. 6D minus 5D is 1D. Yes, oh, we forgot one term, and that is 1D squared. 4D squared, and then we have a D squared, and then we have a 0D squared. Okay, 0D squared. Okay, now what happens to 6D? 6D minus 5D is 1D. 1D squared is again 1D squared. Then 7D minus 5D is 2D, which is again 4D squared, then 9D squared, 16D squared, 10D minus 5D, it is again 5D, 5D whole squared is 25D squared. So after this again these terms are repeating, so can I say adding this is irrelevant? I can multiply it with 2 and divide by the number of terms, which is 11, and this variance is given to me as 90. Then ask me what is the common difference. Solve it for D. Can you add it up? 25 plus 16, 41, 50, 55. 55 by 11, 5. So it is 5, 2 into 5D squared is equal to 90. This is going to become D squared is equal to 9. D is equal to plus or minus 3. Now comes one more important thing. They say it is an increasing AP. If you say plus or minus 3, your answer is wrong. Because since it is an increasing AP, the common difference is always positive. Okay, so what is your final answer? D is equal to 3 because it is an increasing, what is it? It is an increasing AP. It is an increasing AP. Is it understood, all of you? Very easy question. Just try to understand it. We used shortcuts here. One shortcut is changing the values of the terms, saying that the variance does not differ when you add or subtract a constant number. Second thing is finding the arithmetic mean of two terms in this AP and saying that the arithmetic mean of all these terms together is the same 5D because it comes exactly in the middle. And this is an AP, so arithmetic mean of a set of numbers in AP is the arithmetic mean of the two numbers, one in the beginning and the one in the end of the AP. Same value, and using that context, I found out what is my variance and I equated with the variance value of 90 to find the common difference D. Okay, fine. Next one. Now the next question is, they're asking you to find the area of the equilateral triangle which is inscribed inside a parabola. Parabola y squared is equal to 8x. Definitely a parabola y squared is equal to 8x is like this. It is the equilateral triangle is inscribed inside the parabola such that one vertex of the parabola is at the origin, and this is how my equilateral triangle looks like. Now this equilateral triangle makes a point of contact with the parabola, say xy, and the parabola is y squared is equal to 8x. Now if this is xy, I know this is x and this is y, and being an equilateral triangle and which is going to be symmetrical on both sides of the x-axis, this angle is 30 degrees. This angle is 30 degrees. Now if I consider this triangle OAB, yes, if I consider this triangle OAB, in triangle OAB what happens? Tan 30 is equal to y by x. So y is equal to x divided by root 3. Tan 30 is 1 by root 3. Now substitute this in the equation of the parabola. Y squared is equal to 8x. So x squared by 3 is equal to 8x. So x squared is equal to 24x. X is equal to 24. Now x is equal to 24. So if x is equal to 24, what is y? Y is equal to 24 divided by root 3. Yes, and that is equal to 8 root 3. Because 24 is 8 into 3, and the 3 and root 3 can cancel as 8 root 3. So 8 root 3 is the value of y. So I want the area of the equilateral triangle. Area of the equilateral triangle is equal to, can I say this is like half into base into height. Isn't this the base of the equilateral triangle? Isn't this the height of the equilateral triangle? Height is x, base is 2y. So 1 by 2 into 2y into x. Substitute y is equal to 8 root 3 and x is equal to 24. So 24 into 8. 24 into 8 is 192. 192 root 3. Option 3. Option 3 is the answer. 192 root 3. Okay, I hope the question is clear. It's a very simple question. It's actually a CBSE textbook question. Almost it looks very similar to a CBSE textbook question. Now let's go to the next question now. Next question is, yes, they're asking you to find whether the given function is increasing, decreasing, always increasing, or which interval it is increasing, which interval it is decreasing. All such things is being asked. Now what is my function? F of x is equal to, it's a very simple question. Observation is more than enough for this question. ln of 1 plus x divided by x. Let's find what is the derivative of this function, because derivative is what helps us to analyze whether it is going to be an increasing or a decreasing function. Quotient rule, denominator square. What happens in the numerator? X into derivative of ln, which is log 1 plus x, minus, okay, ln into 1 plus x, ln of 1 plus x into derivative of x, which is 1. Let's take the LCM. The numerator is x minus ln of 1 plus x divided by x squared into 1 plus x. Okay, x squared into 1 plus x. Now let's think of the numbers in the denominator. Denominator is x squared, which is always positive. Now 1 plus x is a confusion. Now 1 plus x is positive if x is greater than minus 1. You can see this. 1 plus x is positive if x is greater than minus 1. So here definitely x is greater than minus 1 because my x belongs to minus 1 to infinity. So this denominator is positive. So it doesn't reflect on my final answer because it is always positive. Only problem is when it is negative. Yes. Now let's look at the numerator part now. When you look at the numerator part, x is negative for any value from x is negative. So let's think of this number. X minus ln of 1 plus x. Okay, there's one more term here which we missed out, into 1 plus x. When you take the LCM, you will get into 1 plus x. Fine. Okay, now when you look at the numerator, what happens? The numerator is ln of 1 plus x, or let's say 1 plus x. 1 plus x is positive, yes, for any value greater than minus 1. Okay, that multiplied with ln of 1 plus x, That multiplied with ln of 1 plus x, it is still positive because 1 plus x is positive. Okay, now what happens if x is brought there? Now x is definitely less than 1 plus x, no doubt. X is always less than 1 plus x. So when I subtract x from this very big number which is bigger than x, what will happen? When I must subtract x and minus of that number which is bigger than x, I will always get a number which is less than 0, right? This is always less than 0, which is negative. So my denominator is always positive and my numerator is always negative. Okay, so because it is always negative, my f dash of x is definitely less than 0. So definitely less than 0 means f of x is decreasing. F of x is decreasing always, which is my option 3. The third option, it is always decreasing. Is it understood, all of you? Yes. Now, let's go to the next question. Next question, it's clearly given that this is the equation of a curve. It is supposed to find the equation of the normal to the curve at a given particular point where x is equal to 0. Okay, now what is the equation of this curve over here? It is given that y is equal to 1 plus x, the whole raised to 2y, plus cos squared sine inverse x. Okay, now in this, given that x is equal to 0. So if x is equal to 0, what happens to y? So if x is equal to 0, what happens to y? Y is equal to 1 raised to 2y. Whatever be the y value of y, 1 raised to that is always 1. Then sine inverse 0 is 0. So you have cos squared 0. Cos 0 is 1. So y is equal to 2. So if x is equal to 0, y is equal to 2. So my point where you're supposed to find the normal is at 0, 2. So find the equation of a normal. Normal is a straight line. You know that we need the slope. But from the equation of the curve, you can only get the slope of the tangent and not slope of the normal. So slope of the normal is the derivative. So before finding the derivative, I am a little bit concerned about this term over here, because that term has a variable in its power like a exponential function. I'm supposed to bring it down by applying log, but it's very difficult to apply log. It will make a very lengthy process. So there's a shortcut to applying log over here. The same expression can be written as e power ln. E power ln will be the same with 1 plus x power 2y. Okay, e and ln are inverse of each other. So this is actually 1 plus x power 2y. I'm just applying ln so that I can bring that 2y down from the power, plus cos squared, and sine inverse is cos inverse of root 1 minus x squared. Okay, cos inverse of root 1 minus x squared. Now this is equal, y is equal to e power 2y ln of 1 plus x. Now I can confidently apply the derivative. I can easily find the derivative of this function because that y has come down from the power of x. Okay, now this is cos of cos inverse the whole squared, which is going to make it root of 1 minus x squared the whole square. Cos and cos inverse are inverse of each other. It goes off, right? So what is this function now? Y is equal to e raised to 2y ln of 1 plus x plus root of that is 1 minus x squared. Now let's go for the derivative. What is the derivative of this function y dash? The derivative of this function e is e itself, e raised to 2y ln of 1 plus x. Now you have the derivative of 2y by derivative of ln of 1 plus x is 1 by 1 plus x plus ln of 1 plus x into y dash. Derivative of 2y is 2y dash. Derivative of 2y is 2y dash plus, what is the derivative of 1 minus x squared? It is minus 2x. Now put x is equal to 0, y is equal to 2, so you will get y dash is equal to, if I put x is equal to 0 in this, I will get ln1. ln1 is still 0, e raised to 0. If x is equal to 0, what will happen? If this x is equal to 0, what will happen? This entire term will become 0. ln1 is 0, that is why. Okay, after that, what happens to the remaining term? 2 into 2 is 4 by 1, 4 by 1. The remaining one, again you will have a 0 over here because you have ln of 1 plus x, which becomes 0, and the last term is also 0. So clearly y dash is equal to 4. Y dash is equal to 4. E power 0 is 1. So y dash is equal to 4. From this, what will be the slope of the normal? What will be the slope of the normal? The slope of the normal equals minus 1 by y dash, because tangent and normal are perpendicular to each other. The slopes is a negative reciprocal. So 4 becomes minus 1 by 4. The slope is minus 1 by 4. You can substitute that in the equation of a line, like y minus y1 is equal to minus 1 by 4 into x minus x1, which is 0. So this is 4y plus x equals 2. 4y plus x equals 2. So this is not the answer. This is my answer, option 2. 4y plus x equal to 2. Okay. So because both of them were having a slope of minus 1 by 4, I had to go after that. Otherwise, I would have directly said option 2 if one was having an answer. Understood? Yes. Now we'll go to the next question. Next question is of much easier, one of the easiest questions they could ask. It's based on mathematical reasoning. So look at the expression. Which of the following is a tautology? So what is a tautology? What is a tautology? It is a mathematical proposition which is always true. It is a mathematical proposition which is always true. Now what is a mathematical proposition which is always true? Let's assume like this. I'm giving you a ball and I'm saying that the ball is green or not green. That covers up all the possibilities, right? Yes. If I say a ball is green or not green, somebody is asking, is it true? Yes, definitely true. This ball is either green or not green. Not green covers up all the other colors and green covers up the green color. Like if I say a proposition where x is equal to y and x is not equal to y. So if two numbers x and y, I am saying these two numbers are equal or not equal. So it is a mathematical proposition which is always true. Apart from these two cases, you cannot make any other comparison between x and y. If somebody says x is less than y, I'll say it is x is not equal to y. Right? So tautology. I have to say which of them is a tautology. So I've been given three cases here. I have to analyze them one by one. So let's think what is P and what is Q. So now we have to use the truth table. The truth table. Understand? If I say this is P, this is Q. If I say P is true and Q is true, P is true, Q is false, P is false, Q is true, P is false and Q is false. Now look at the first question. I need not P. This symbol represents what? This symbol represents not P. Not P. Not P. True becomes false. True becomes false. False becomes true. False becomes true. I got not P. Then I want what? P or Q. What is the meaning of this? This is P or Q. You know what happens in P or Q? If a comparison between P and Q is taken, in P or Q, if one of them is true, then that statement is considered to be true. P or Q. Now look at this. True, true. True, true is always true. True, false. One of them is true, so this is also true. False, true. Q is true, so this is also true. Now this is the only case where both of them is false. So if both of them are false, it cannot be true. So it was always false. Okay. Now I need what? I found out not P, P or Q. I need not P and P or Q. Not P and P or Q. And means to make it true, both of them should be true. If one of them is also false, the statement is false. Okay, so understand the difference between or and and. In or, if one is true, then the statement is true. In and, if one is false, the statement is false. So I'm making comparison between these two. Both, look at this, false, true. So this is false. Okay, false, true. So this is false. True, true, that is true. True, false, that is also false. Okay, understood? Understood all of you? Now, what is the next thing they want? They're asking about the arrow. Arrow means implies. What does arrow mean? Arrow mean implies. So, they're making a comparison between Q and this expression. Okay, false implies true. In the first case, false implies true. Does false implies true for you? Does false imply true for you? No, right? False does not imply true for you. So what will you say? False does not imply true for you. So what will you say? It is false. Okay, next one. False implies false. That is true. False implies false. That is true. Next one. True implies true. That is also true. False implies false. That is also true. Right? So false implies false, true implies true, false implies false, true implies false. So that is the only case. Now we have a confusion here. Now you have to be very careful here. True implies false. True implies false is a special case. This is also true. This is the only thing you have to remember in tautology. In tautology, true implies false. In this implies concept, true implies false is a true statement. You have to consider true implies false as a true statement. So now everything is true, right? Whenever everything is true, what will you say? It is a tautology. Please learn this. This is the only thing that you have to remember for an implies condition. For implies condition, whenever false implies true, it is always true. False implies true is backwards. Just consider it's backwards. False implies true because you are implying backwards, right? Not P and P or Q. Not P and P or Q implies Q. That is false implies true, which is always true. Okay, fine. So true, 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 true. Everything is true. Mathematical proposition which is always true. It is a tautology. So by chance the first one is still my answer. Otherwise I will do the same verification for the second and the third. Because everything is almost available. You just have to create it, that's all. Okay, nothing else is there. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Now in the next question, they're saying that the sum of 11 terms in an AP is 0. And if the sum of terms where the next term is missing, like in the previous one it was A1, A2, A3, etc. up to A11. Now they are saying it is A1, A3, A5, etc. up to A23. That sum is KA1. And find the value of K. Now it is said that the sum is 0. So if I take the sum of that, the first sum, it has 11 terms. So 11 by 2 into 2A plus 10D. Yes. Now that sum is equal to 0 means 2A plus 10D is equal to 0 and 2A becomes A is equal to minus 5D. A is equal to, this is a relationship between A and D. So I can also say or D is equal to minus A divided by 5. Now if I consider the next AP, the difference between the first AP and the next AP is one term is skipped, right? So in this case, what happens to the common difference D? The common difference D becomes 2D, but the first term is still A and the number of terms is 12. It's A1 to A23. Count the number. It's like odd numbers from 1 to 23. There are 12 odd numbers. So n is equal to 12. So what is the sum now? What is the second sum? The second sum is n by 2 divided by 2a plus 11d. d is here 2d. Okay. And that is equal to ka. That is equal to ka. Now I have d is equal to minus a by 5. So this becomes 12 into a plus 11d equals ka. I just took out the 2 inside so they can do a simple calculation. And now 12 into a is a itself and d is minus a divided by 5 equals ka. Yes, now I can take out the a throughout. Now this becomes 5 minus 11, LCM is minus 6. So 12 into minus 6 by 5 is equal to k. Yes, so what is the final answer now? The final answer, k is equal to 72. Yes, minus 72 divided by 5, which is option number 4. Which is a very simple question, very easy. So, like I said, this is the last question now. Like I said, entire paper, this paper has some questions which were a bit lengthy, but they were most of the questions which was easily doable. You could have done it. You could have done it under 2 minutes, definitely under 2 minutes, no doubt. Maybe 1 minute. There are certain questions which can be done in 1 minute. So it was easily doable. Okay. Now this is the end of this paper. I'll be coming back soon with the next JEE paper of 2020. Thank you and nice meeting you all.
Brilliant Qatar is the passport to your success.